New Jersey's fate was set by its geography. Wedged between New York City and Philadelphia, it became America's essential corridor. For centuries, it was rural farms, small towns and woodlands, earning its Garden State nickname by feeding the cities. Its fertile soil and moderate climate made it a patchwork of fields and villages, with life moving to the rhythm of the seasons. The Atlantic coast fostered fishing towns, but the pull of the big cities was always there, shaping New Jersey's future. Early roads, canals, and the Camden and Amboy Railroad physically connected the state to its urban neighbors, laying the groundwork for what would become the suburban boom. These routes, first for wagons and barges, would later be paved for cars, but always served to link the countryside to the city. Before suburbs, New Jersey was a rustic escape for city dwellers. Wealthy families built summer estates along the shore and in the hills. These were seasonal retreats, not commuter homes, but they planted the idea that one could live outside the city while staying connected. This perception of New Jersey as a pastoral sanctuary set the stage for the suburban ideal. The state's identity as a place of escape and connection would soon transform into something much larger. The seeds of suburbia were sown in these early connections, physical and psychological, between city and countryside. The idea that you could have the best of both worlds would soon become reality. New Jersey's transformation from farmland to suburb was inevitable, given its geography and its role as a bridge between two great cities. The story of the American suburb would begin here. The railroad sparked New Jersey's first wave of suburbanization, changing where people could live and work. Before trains, daily life was limited to a few miles from the city. The railroad shattered those boundaries. Now, a Manhattan office worker could return each night to a quiet New Jersey town. This was the birth of the commuter and the railroad suburb. Towns like Montclair, Summit, and the Oranges grew rapidly, planned for the affluent and built around new train stations. Developers transformed farmland into elegant Victorian neighborhoods, offering clean air and exclusivity. Life revolved around the train schedule. The station was the town's hub, connecting home to city. These were not self-sufficient villages, but bedroom communities dependent on the city's economy. The railroad suburb set a powerful precedent. Technology could separate work from home, letting families enjoy city opportunity and country comfort. But this dream was exclusive. Only the wealthy could afford the commute. The stage was set for the next revolution. The arrival of the automobile would soon make the suburban dream accessible to millions more. The landscape of New Jersey was about to change forever. The commuter age had only just begun. The automobile democratized the suburbs, freeing families from train lines and schedules. Mass-produced cars put mobility within reach of the average American, and New Jersey embraced the change. The state pioneered superhighways like the Pulaski Skyway, New Jersey Turnpike, and Garden State Parkway arteries built for speed and volume. Highways opened up remote farmland for development, fueling a wave of suburban sprawl. Developers could now build far from train stations, confident that buyers would drive to work. The car reshaped communities. Garages became central driveways, replaced porches, and streets widened for traffic. Suburbs were designed for cars, not pedestrians, and the landscape became a web of homes, businesses, and shopping centers. The automobile wasn't just transportation, it was the organizing principle of daily life. The age of the car had arrived, and with it, the modern New Jersey suburb. The state's transformation was now unstoppable. After World War II, a tidal wave of returning soldiers and federal programs like the GI Bill fueled a housing boom. The dream of homeownership became reality for millions, as low-interest loans and FHA-backed mortgages made buying a house easier than ever. Cities like New York and Philadelphia struggled with aging infrastructure and overcrowding, pushing families to seek safety, space, and a better life in the suburbs. Advertisements painted suburbia as paradise, a new house, a green lawn, and a safe street for children. Moving to the suburbs became a symbol of success and prosperity. Between 1950 and 1970, New Jersey's population exploded, with most growth in suburban counties. Rural townships became bustling centers almost overnight. This migration wasn't just demographic, it was a cultural shift, moving the nation's center of gravity from city to suburb. The exodus from the city transformed New Jersey, making it a model for the American suburban dream. The promise of a better life drove millions to the Garden State's new communities. The suburbs were now the heart of American life. The city's old world faded as the suburban future took hold. New Jersey was leading the way. Meeting post-war housing demand required a new approach: mass production. Developers like William Levitt turned home building into an assembly line, creating entire communities almost overnight. Levittown, Pennsylvania became the model for New Jersey's own tract developments. These neighborhoods offered simple, affordable, nearly identical homes, small, modern, and perfect for young families. The curving streets and cul-de-sacs were designed for safety and seclusion, with uniform lawns and standardized details. Critics called it monotonous, but for millions, it was a dream come true. Tract housing became New Jersey's dominant growth pattern, stamping the landscape with endless rows of single-family homes. The state's character was permanently changed. The American dream was now mass-produced, and New Jersey was its proving ground. The rise of tract housing defined a generation. Suburbia had arrived in full force. The suburban boom created a new problem. Where would everyone shop? The answer, the shopping mall, designed for cars and convenience. New Jersey led the way, opening the Bergen Mall and Garden State Plaza, massive centers with free parking and climate-controlled shopping. Malls became destinations, replacing old downtowns as the new public squares. As retailers left city centers for the suburbs, urban downtowns declined, losing foot traffic and vitality. Strip malls followed, lining highways with supermarkets, pizzerias, and laundromats, epitomes of car-oriented convenience. The commercial geography of New Jersey was now decentralized and auto-dependent. The mall and strip mall reshaped daily life, making shopping a suburban ritual. The old Main Street faded as the mall became the heart of the community. New Jersey's landscape was now defined by its commercial sprawl. The suburban economy had found its home. The age of the mall had begun. Better schools were a powerful draw for suburban families. The post-war boom sparked a wave of new school construction, with modern campuses and athletic fields symbolizing community pride. School quality became a key factor in real estate, driving up property values and fueling local investment. The school was the heart of suburban life. PTA meetings, football games, and plays brought neighbors together. Suburban living revolved around family and leisure backyard barbecues, little league, and community pools. Conformity and local identity flourished, but so did criticism. Some saw the suburbs as isolating and overly uniform. The reliance on cars and separation of home, work, and commerce fragmented daily life. For many women, suburbia could be isolating with limited mobility and social contact. The suburban dream was complex, fulfilling for some, challenging for others. The social fabric of New Jersey's suburbs was tightly woven, but not without its contradictions. The promise of community came with new pressures and expectations. Suburbia was both a haven and a challenge. The dream was never simple. For decades, New Jersey's suburbs were largely white, shaped by discriminatory policies and practices. Redlining and racial covenants kept minorities out, creating stark segregation between city and suburb. The Fair Housing Act of 1968 began to break down these barriers, and economic shifts brought new diversity. African American families moved to the suburbs. Immigrant families moved to the suburbs, seeking better schools and safer neighborhoods. Towns like Edison and Fort Lee became vibrant centers for Indian and Korean American communities. New Jersey's suburbs transformed into multi-ethnic ethnoburbs, reflecting global migration. The old image of the suburb as a white, middle-class enclave no longer fits. Diversity brought new energy, businesses, and challenges. Communities now grapple with integration and inclusion. The story of New Jersey's suburbs is now one of global migration and cultural richness. The suburban landscape is a mosaic, not a monolith. The American dream has become more complex and more inclusive. Today, New Jersey is the quintessential suburban state, its identity woven into the fabric of American suburbia. Its history mirrors the nation's, from railroad suburbs to post-war booms to diverse, mature communities. The state's landscape is a living museum. Victorian homes, tract developments, highways, malls, and multicultural districts. Suburbia here means opportunity, safety, and the pursuit of the American dream. But challenges remain: congestion, sustainability, and equity in a changing world. New Jersey is pioneering solutions: transit-oriented development, downtown revitalization, and inclusive communities. The suburban ideal is evolving, but its legacy endures. From leafy cul-de-sacs to bustling shopping districts, New Jersey is a testament to the power and adaptability of suburbia. Defined by its cities, it has forged its own identity. It stands as America's suburban giant, complex, compelling, and ever-changing.